So honestly, not in my wildest dreams, not for the last quarter of a century, did I ever think this was going to happen. But if you are watching this, I'm sure you already know. Otherwise, you're in for a big spoiler. John Cena just turned heel. That is genuinely totally nuts, especially because there's lots of things we need to talk about. One, it happened at the Elimination Chamber, which is essentially a B pay-per-view. Imagine I told you 15 years ago, we'll wait until the Elimination Chamber to turn John Cena heel. And also, as we now know, the phrase never say never. I said this on What Culture Ups and Downs as well. What Culture Wrestling, subscribe to me. Please subscribe to me and subscribe to them as well. But whoever came up with never say never, and it wasn't Vince McMahon. He didn't come up with that catchphrase, as some buffoon tweeted me earlier. But they were a time traveler, and they basically traveled around in time, and they knew that John Cena was going to turn heel. Hence why they said never say never. Now, you may be wondering, Simon, where the flub are you? I've actually gone away for the week, which means I am also in control of professional wrestling, because this stuff always seems to happen when I do go away. But just to summarize it in a nice, neat little package, we went through all the Elimination Chambers, and we'll get into them a little bit, but come on now, we've got to talk about this. And John Cena won the men's Elimination Chamber in a really, really good match. It ended with him and CM Punk. He applied the STFU as Seth Rollins on the outside going, die. It genuinely made me laugh. It was so absolutely ridiculous in the best possible way. And I love the fact we segued straight into The Rock stuff. So he comes out with Travis Scott, which is also wonderful, by the way. Cody is there. The Rock launches into his totally unhinged, I want your soul. I think I said he needs his soul. Needs his soul. We're going to be lovers. We're going to be brothers for the rest of our life. Cody has the most... This is the best thing about Cody being a super over babyface. Like, he can say the most redonkulous things that out of content sound terrible. But he says, Cody, let's go run through some walls. It was words to the effect of, what was it? Like, I can't sell you my soul because I already gave it to this ring and the people years ago. Like, what am I seeing devices? Like, damn right, Cody. John Cena goes nuts because Cody Rhodes, can I say this? Screw it, I'm going to say it. Whatever happens, happens. Tells The Rock to fuck off. And you have to say it like that. Obviously, I usually say flub. But Cody saying that to The Rock, who sold it like, I'm going to kill you, which was true. But again, Cena starts dancing around the ring. He hugs Cody Rhodes. It's the most pro wrestling thing ever, right? It's so dumb because the cameraman somehow knows it's going to happen. So he focuses on John Cena's face, who instantly goes stereotypical, and I mean all of this in the most positive way possible. Yeah, heel face. He's smiling there. No, I just realized I meant to be bad. The Rock slits his throat because that character is just totally insane. And John Cena booted Cody Rhodes in the balls. This Canadian crowd lost their minds as they would do. And then imagine this, right? Imagine I told you this and you hadn't seen it, or you hadn't watched wrestling since 2014. The Rock as the final boss, John Cena and Travis Scott then proceed to bludgeon Cody Rhodes to the point he's bleeding. They hit him with the title, they hit him with the Rock's weightlifting belt, they hit him with his own stupid Rolex, meaning Elimination Chamber goes off screen. With those three together, I doubt Travis Scott will be heavily involved. But why not, man? It's good for mainstream news and WWE loves that. You could just ignore it if you thought it was too much. As Cody Rhodes bleeds in the ring, and only Cody can pull that disappointed face. No one is as good as doing a disappointed face as Cody Rhodes. I made noises. I went crazy. I couldn't believe it. Once again, I had a mini meltdown here. I was like, I kind of need to be at home right now making content, but we always bring our facilities and our equipment just in case. And it's just wonderul. And I don't want to sound like a nerd. Obviously, I'm going to sound like a nerd. I want to give credit to John Cena because I'm sure he could have bit back on this. Like, man, I don't think I should do that in my final year. But I think he's gone the other way because he is a creative so-and-so, hence why he's doing so well in Hollywood. The idea, maybe it was floated to him, maybe he floated it, but he was like, let's tick all these boxes. We've got 12 months, man. We're only in early March. Basically just come out of February. He could be a good guy again by the summer. It doesn't matter. Or maybe, like my prediction has always been that you get to December, you have a pay-per-view that's called like John Cena is the best, and he retires with his head held high. Maybe he wants to retire as a heel and put somebody over huge. It is very John Cena. He's a very, very giving man in terms of what he gives back to pro wrestling and stuff. But it's made so much noise. And there's nothing WWE could have done that would have made more noise than this. So you have to give them as much credit as possible. It's ballsy, it takes courage, and it's not just John Cena turning heel, it's The Rock and John Cena as a team. So we've got the two-man power trip from 2001 running wild. And it's just going to breed so much interest, especially leading into WrestleMania. Triple H has said on the Friday, I think, that, it's a seismic change in WWE. And he always says that, and he should say that. He's a promoter. So when Tony Khan says, I have the best surprise ever for you, they should say that. They have to live up to it as well, otherwise it does become boy who cried wolf. But Paul Levesque saying, it is going to change the industry, blah, blah, you're now going to believe it. So he's bought himself equity, which is so important in pro wrestling. And I know some people a little bit wishy-washy on the WrestleMania 41 build. I don't think you can be wishy-washy on it now. I mean, it's perfectly up to you. You can choose. But obviously, John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber, as we talked about. So now is heel John Cena taking on Cody Rhodes, with the added caveat, and I'm sure this will be taught to us on Raw, that John Cena probably did this because he has to win that 17th world title. He has to be the record breaker. I think he has to win at WrestleMania. Like, you can't go super duper mega whooper heel without, but again, we'd still have a lot of time, so I suppose you could do. But my gut tells me he would now beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41 and then go on a tirade throughout WWE and then maybe lose it in December. I mean, I can't remember now, but it's reported he's got like 35 dates this year. And he's only used like 3 of them. Let's say he's got 30 dates, right? We've only got, we'll say we're in March. Well, we've got the rest of March to go. So March, April, May, June. Hang on, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, so 10 months. I could have worked that out given we've only had 2 months in the year. It's the dumbest thing I've ever done. But we have 10 months, right? So he can at least turn up once a month. Obviously, it'd be more than that because that would only be 10. So he can turn up twice a month. That's more than enough to be a champion. Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, other people that have had that championship and don't bother coming to work. And listen, the Raw rating's going to be massive. The SmackDown rating's going to be massive. It'll be the biggest WrestleMania ever. Again, as a closer on night 2, Cody Rhodes versus heel John Cena. As John Cena tries to win his 17th world title, I don't think you can come up with anything bigger. It's not being disparaging to The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Also totally huge. But again, this is something people have wanted for 25 years. 25 years. And we did it at the time when nobody wanted it. It's why I love wrestling. It's why I love WWE. It never makes sense. You go on a wild ride. And this will be a moment that you remember forever. And we're going to go way over the top here. But it is true, because I've done this in my life as I do get older and older. You know, you remember getting married, you remember your kids being born, you remember a great birthday party you have, you remember a great memory you had with your granddad or your mum and your dad before, you know, very sadly they passed on. And you remember where you were when The Undertaker got beaten, when John Cena turned heel, and The Rock came back in 2011, and all these kind of crazy things that just hit you in a nuts way. And I don't think you could have had a better ending to the show. I really, really don't. And now there's all this speculation as well that all of this has been in the works for ages. We're a bunch of suckers, but it's good to be a sucker in pro wrestling. You want to be worked. Like even when that even when that Drew McIntyre story broke that he was going to win the chamber, and I jumped on that bandwagon. I even said, who knows if it's true? You always need to caveat it. I think it's super important because you just don't know unless you're The Rock or Triple H. But yeah, I said, you know, even if it is Drew, that would be good. But at the same time, keep an open mind and just see what's going to happen. And that's what we got here. And it just makes things so unpredictable. That's why when all of a sudden Drew was the guy, like, oh my gosh, he had that relationship with The Rock. And I remember so many people saying, oh no, it can't be John Cena. There's no way. And I just was genuinely stunned. I sat here in this hotel room and I made some weird noises. Probably woke some people up because again, you know, it's still on European time. So just made crazy noises like a goat that was giving birth. But this was excellent stuff, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen, which is the point of pro wrestling, right? You want to see where it's going to go. And Cody Rhodes is now the soothsayer of pro wrestling. I want to point that out, because when he left in 2016, if we had been making videos, and I was making videos then, because, you know, getting worrying, but if I had said to you when he left, oh, by the way, he'll kickstart a new wrestling war, or whatever you want to call AEW, you take my point, and he'll also put himself in a situation where he's so beloved, he'll turn The Rock heel, and then he'll be responsible kind of for John Cena doing the same. You would have punched me in the face, and you would have been well within your rights, because that's absurd. That's not things that are meant to happen. So I just say kudos all around. And especially to John Cena, because he could have pushed back on that. But I think the dude just loves wrestling and he just wants to have fun. And when he did kick Cody in the balls, it's just this, you just can't believe it, right? I rewound it, watched like 4 times, like maybe I've got this wrong. Just realized I didn't say the point I was talking about. Going back to Bad Blood, we just went on this flight of fancy, this stream of consciousness. If you look at The Rock's hand signal, his weird 1, 2, 3, 4 hand, it is the things that John Cena does with his taunt. So yes, now doubling back round. Maybe this has been planned for a while. So even when it does come out that Drew McIntyre is going to win, you're just like, okay, well, we're just going to see what's going to happen. Because you just do not know. Unless you're actually backstage, and there's also something going around. Or maybe Triple H said this in the press conference. I've only seen the press conference in bullet point form. But apparently he told the production truck, you've got to leave. I'm taking control of this, which is the same as he did when CM Punk came back, because they don't want it to leak. So maybe they did leak the Drew McIntyre thing on purpose to knock you off the set, and great. Do it. I'm always going to talk about it because I'm a fan. I want a fantasy book. When I'm right, awesome. When I'm wrong, not so awesome. I mean, hilariously, if you go back to my Elimination Chambers predictions we did on here, totally wrong. But I changed them all for Twitter yesterday because of things that happened on Raw. And as it turned out, home run. Every single thing right. Not John Cena turning heel. I didn't write that down. I had Randy Orton coming back. I had Bianca Belair winning, which we'll talk about in just 1 second. And everything else too. So that was nice for me. Goes to show that I'm not completely stupid. But keep working me. Keep surprising me. I find it very strange when people get mad when they feel like wrestling got one up over them. But there was for 2 decades we didn't have that because everything was so dull. Or swerves were, just a bit like, okay, it doesn't really make much sense. But this one is brilliant. And again, John Cena, I have to win that championship. I cannot leave this company without winning the championship. So, huge round of applause. And I feel sorry for Jade Cargill and Randy Orton. Poor Randy Orton. Every time he comes back, CM Punk's coming back. Comes back again, we're turning John Cena heel, but he's a megastar, so he'll be fine. But the women's elimination chamber starts. Jade Cargill just comes to the rim, whoops the crap out of Naomi, as Bianca Belair was having a conniption in the corner. And Bianca, Naomi, and Liv Morgan were all wearing white, and Jade Cargill was wearing black. Really sold well by the commentators too, going like, oh, she thinks it's Liv Morgan. And Liv Morgan is brilliant right now. Great in the ring, character work excellent. Like, she had such a good 2024, and she's got better in 2025. So I hope we have plans all the way through to the end of the year for her. She is tremendous. But Jade Cargill goes after Naomi. We're told, she thinks it's Naomi. Bianca Belair then wins the chamber after taking out Liv Morgan, not to dinner. And we still don't know as I'm talking to you, maybe you'll know more by the time you see this, Bianca Belair could be involved too. Because if we're going to do Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, you can't turn Rhea Ripley heel. So maybe Bianca and Naomi are going to come super duper whooper bad guys. I'm all right with that. Turning Bianca Belair heel, I think you got to try hard. But again, I said that about Roxanne Perez and I was totally wrong. And Bianca Belair is way on in her career compared to Roxanne. Bianca Belair is like, she's going to be all time one day. She's so good. But she's also a brilliant baby face. But I don't want to take anything. You just don't know, right? Again, I would have said it. Imagine she had turned heel. Bianca Belair and John Cena on the same evening. The point is, though, I think you'll do Jade versus Naomi at WrestleMania. I think we'll probably do Io versus Bianca versus Rhea. And I think Bianca Belair will walk into that as a heel. I think it makes it way more interesting. Goes back to what we're just saying. Just try stuff. It will work because she's too good of a performer. But even if it doesn't because people like her too much, that's perfectly fine. But again, it's just so good that before the match even starts, Jade comes back, I'm healed. I'll wait to the pay-per-view because I'm a wrestler. Why wouldn't I do that? I mean, really beat the crap out of Naomi. And again, it's just that awesome, what's Bianca Belair's role in this? Because she looked more concerned for Naomi. She was the third person in the chamber and she went and checked on her right away. So it's not like she was surprised that Jade had done this, more concerned for her friend. So that's great storytelling as well. I kind of feel like we're setting up some kind of multi-person tag woman match as well, just with Alexa Bliss and everybody else. We'll have to wait and see. Really fun match. Last 10 minutes were great, and the Bianca Liv Morgan stuff so good. Something was always going to suffer on this show, given the amount of headlines, which was Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus taking on Nia Jax and Candice. It was fine. Trish Stratus was super over. Tiffany Stratton got the win after Candice LeRae accidentally smashed Nia Jax. Massive Tiffany getting a visual pin over Nia Jax, who is considered a big star. Now, finally, we can get to the Charlotte Flair stuff, which has been treading water, I would say, for a while. And then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. We're going to have to give it a few days before people give this its due for obvious reasons. They are, I say this all the time, they're modern day GOATs. It was brutal, it was horrible. So some person going, well, it wasn't as violent as some of their other matches. Who cares, man? Stop comparing things all of the time, although I get it, we can't help it as human beings. But it was just, who else could have pulled this off? Barbed wire chairs, crazy falls through tables, blue thunder bombs, proving that they are the most least devastating move in all sports entertainment. Doesn't matter if you do it through chairs, tables, stairs, trash cans, they're never going to work. And then the ending with the pop-up power bombs, or the power bombs into the ring apron. With people going crazy, again, it's all about how other people react in the context you present it in. We see moves into the ring apron all the time, but this was sold like death. Kevin Owens gets the win, decides he's going to, pile driver or whatever, Sami Zayn onto the concrete when Randy Orton comes back, pretends he's going to do the punt, hits up Kevin Owens with the RKO. So now at WrestleMania, the big payoff will be the big punt, because all the people ran in to stop this happening. So that was awesome as well. Just a brilliant match. This could be one of the best pay-per-views Triple H has ever produced, to be completely honest. And then you go into the men's elimination chamber, which was awesome. You got your moment between CM Punk and John Cena, which is good, because John Cena hasn't turned heel yet. And now that has totally different context to it. Seth Rollins was as always, Seth Rollins like Liv Morgan of the men's division. Just knows what he's doing all of the time. And we took him out with a GTS double A, what the hell called? AA combo. So that kind of justifies him getting taken out there. We're definitely doing Drew versus Damien at WrestleMania, because Damien hit the most devastating move in all sports entertainment after Drew McIntyre thought he had taken out Cena. And even the way that Logan Paul got the pin over Damian Priest was that Drew got so mad, he claymored Damian Priest right in the skull, and that allows Logan Paul to get the win. The most satisfying part of the evening was CM Punk eliminating Logan Paul with the GTS. But now I'm starting to think that Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul could be involved in something. Because I don't know where Logan Paul fits otherwise, but I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, just brilliant. And the fact that it ended with Seth Rollins, as my brain tries to remember everything, getting taken out with that super combo and then watching on. And him being the person, as he said on Raw, over my dead body, you're going to win. So he stomps Punk when he's meant to be out of the match. And then John Cena, and this was the biggest tease of the night that I didn't pick up on the time. I just thought, well, you know, what are you going to do? Jumps on the STFU instantly. Didn't wait, didn't do always believe, never give up and all that nonsense. He was like, nope, I need to win this match by hook or by crook. And CM Punk passes out. And now arguably CM Punk, other than Cody Rhodes, the biggest babyface in the company. I mean, it's just, you should watch it. And you should watch it from start to finish. It's 3 hours and 20 minutes, whatever it is. It's quite short for an Elimination Chamber show. Sometimes they go long, but it is the benefit of only having 4 matches, then a big segment at the end. But the segment didn't go that long. 10 minutes, 12 minutes maybe, but it was well versed. It was well done. It didn't feel like overkill at all. And we got to I think you just wanted to get that full stop, that bullet point, that twist, that swerve out there. This was tremendous. This was a golden up show, as I call it on Ups and Down. And it's something we can talk about for ages. It will shift WWE into a totally new direction, even in 2026, when I'm sure The Rock is doing other things and John Cena won't be around anymore. Is The Rock going to fight at SummerSlam? Is he going to fight WrestleMania next year? We don't know. What's Roman Reigns going to do? I think it is going to be Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. I think WWE has locked in there. And they've locked in with John Cena versus Cody. Even if this wasn't planned and The Rock was just doing stupid things with his hand at Bad Blood, we've still stuck to our main event, so we've just sort of shifted The Rock in there. And I would have loved Cody versus John Cena, babyface versus babyface. This is better. Again, this is 25 years of history. This is 25 years of fans asking for it. This is WWE taking risks. And it's my most boring catchphrase of all time. If you are going to have week-to-week television programming, don't do the same thing all the time. Surprise me. Again, throw things at the wall. And if it's crap, who cares, man? We can rectify things all of the time. It was awesome. Very surprised that Bayley was the first person out of the women's chamber as well, I think. Who took her out was like a Liv Morgan, which surprised me. It wasn't a Roxanne Perez. That's why I think some kind of multi-man match is coming. And we've got to do something more with Alexa Bliss. She's always so over, but she's not really doing anything right now. And I kind of had this weird idea that she could team up with Nikki Cross if she's going to be in the Wyatt Six and go after the tag team titles. I'm going to tell you, man, I want Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to hold those titles for ages. They're so good. They're brilliant. Liv Morgan right now is MVP levels. But what else can I even say about it? It was so good. It was so much fun. It reminds you why you watch wrestling. And again, I think if you're anything like me, and I'm very blessed to have this platform to be able to do it, but you just want to seek out other opinions, you just want to tell your friends. It's the water cooler moment if we were sort of living 15 years ago. Or I guess, nowadays, you just want to run on social media and brag about it. And let's face it, the world's pretty crazy right now. We get a lot of bad news every single day. So when we can distract our stuff with something so outrageous and so audacious and something we never saw coming, it's a 5-star experience. It's 10 out of 10. And I think it's totally brilliant. Now, of course, please do drop me a comment below and let me know what you think about this. I mean, some people may not like it. I want to hear from you especially. Hopefully we can put some of these together and do another video about it. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen if you want to laugh about how much I don't know about wrestling, as this does prove. Otherwise, if you're into fitness, gorillamind.com/Simon. You could Simon get 10% off. Otherwise, just go in the description down there. You can find my social media. You can find my pro wrestling tees. And you can find my cameos and all that kind of stuff. Any support would rock. But again, more importantly today, get in the comments and let me know what you think about John Cena turning heel. Because you got it, my friends, and you're never going to get it again.